What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Witch Watch, this time with episode 7, I believe. A bit more of a romance focused episode last time, so if I did have to guess, I assumed today would be a very comedy heavy episode. But yeah, a lot of romance. Really like the ending of last episode with Under the Tree. Well, that was cool. Yeah, I like the serious nature of last week's as well. Iron Crow. That reminds me of a movie I need to watch called Iron Claw. That is apparently really good. Oh, it's got another new version of the opening? Oh, no, I guess not. WJ Tube. WJ Tube. But yeah, do let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. But yeah, I think we've had a few kind of more serious natured episodes recently, haven't we? So as I said, I do imagine we'll probably get quite a lot of comedy today. Do you know what? That also reminds me, I haven't had a gingerbread man in what feels like decades. I love gingerbread as well. Still no sign of we've seen a bit more of that guy last week, which was cool. Still no sign of that kind of wolf looking guy in this scene here. This one. I say wolf looking, he doesn't really look like a wolf, but I don't know why that shot just reminds me of like a werewolf for some reason. Not sure why that is, but yeah. Okay, so they got a whole YouTube channel. Interesting. Well, they done pretty well on that video a minute ago. They've done better than majority of my videos. Sergeant Punch. Really? Are you taking the piss? They got those 12,000 views in that video with 12 subscribers. That's how it is though, isn't it? And you start out YouTube. You do start out like this. I remember back, man. I only made this channel like 5 years ago, I think it was. But maybe 2010. It was around the time Guitar Hero 3 was out. I used to upload videos taken on my phone, which at that point was a flip phone. I used to take. I'd like put my phone. I think I'd put something up. I think I'd like prop it on the bed and I'd put something behind it so it stayed upright, and then I'd just record some of the shot being me playing Guitar Hero, and then the majority of the shot being the screen that I play Guitar Hero on the monitor. And obviously it looked terrible. I don't know what happened to that channel. I don't think I have it anymore. But yeah, that's well, I definitely don't. If it is still up on the internet and it is still a thing, I definitely don't have access to it. But yeah, that's probably my earliest memory of like me uploading. I didn't upload a video from then, which was what, over 10 years ago. Till this channel. So there's a long gap in my YouTube career, I guess you could say. But yeah, I would want to find that, to be honest with you. I would really want want to look back and just see how cringe that is, to be honest. There's also videos of me playing football from I think like 14 years ago up on YouTube, which I actually have got access to, which I look back on a little bit fondly as me scoring a couple goals in a game. But yeah, this is almost exactly how that video I just mentioned looked, to be honest with you, except for the quality, probably 10p, probably 10p quality. To be honest with you, I don't want to sound bad here, but because Nico's a woman, I think, as we see there, her videos will just genuinely do better. There's a certain portion of the internet that only cares about if you're like a woman they can simp over and stuff like that. So there's already like some women sometimes just pretty much just have like a built-in audience to some degree. If they want an audience of creeps, they can very much do that and advertise themselves for that. I guess you could do that as a guy as well, but it's probably infinitely less popular. Getting dissed on by your friends. Well, that's just an absolute lie, isn't it? She's a literal witch. If she was really smart about this, she'd probably be one of the top creators on YouTube. Here he is, the loser hipster. So this is quite an interesting episode from my perspective, from a reactor's perspective, isn't it? Being very much focused on YouTube. To be honest with you guys, people always talk about like the algorithm and stuff like that. I've never really been able to like find how the algorithm works or anything. I just kind of do what I do. I would like to know how it works, and people do know how it works, so there must be some kind of information out there to tell you, but who knows? Yeah, he is very one of these guys, one of these hipsters. Yeah, everybody knows someone like this, don't they? Oh, you wouldn't have heard of my favorite artist. It's kind of like those people that say their favorite movies are movies like the most niche movies you've ever heard of. '83. No, he's doing better than you guys. Oh, he speaks English in these? Oh no. Only something with my eyes. Yeah, you gotta kind of tell us why. The naughty monk. Mangosteen Mogi. I wonder who these are. Oh, look at this. Oh my god. I was going to say, there's probably a lot of references going on right now. I've only recently started really watching Japanese movies. And I pretty much only watched one director, Takashi Miike. Last week I watched Audition, which was really good. That was almost like, it was quite crazy actually. It took me off guard. All of his movies took me off guard, to be honest with you, but it took me off guard because it was almost a romance for like an hour and a half, and then it just like went crazy. Really enjoyed that though. I watched Itchy the Killer, which took me off guard as well, considering the cover of it. I assumed it would be about and I assumed that character would be called Itchy, and that's who we're focusing on. But no, it was some kind of crazy incel skater ice. Yeah, some gimp little, yeah, virgin wanking. Yeah, you can't explain it, but I really like that movie as well. But yeah, I've only really watched Takashi Miike and some of his movies, and a movie called Hausu as well, which was really fun. I think it's from like the 60s or 70s, really old school movie, but I really enjoyed that. Hausu, definitely check that out if you guys haven't seen it. It's just got a really cool vibe to it. But yeah, there's lots of references going on here. I'm not sure who we're referencing with the directors and the actual movies. Like the movie references, I don't quite understand. However, if you look in the background of these shots, we've got some really cool ones going on here. We've got some Nike sneakers up in the top bar. We've got Pennywise. The Pennywise from the recent It series as well. To be honest with you guys, this might be a slightly edgy opinion, but I've always preferred the old TV series with what's his name? The old Pennywise. Like I really like especially the first of the new It movies. I thought that one was really good. The second part, the second part of it is just weak in general, I think. Well, I say that I've never read the book, but it's a really interesting premise, but it hasn't really been done too well in either the mini series or the movies. In actuality, it was always just quite boring. But it's a really good premise, so I think eventually they might be able to get that right. But yeah, this is the new Pennywise. Like I said, I actually prefer the old one. I think the old one, because I watched it when I was younger, definitely is a bit more scarier to me. I forget the name of the actor that played it, but I absolutely love his work. Because we've got Ghostbusters. I'm not sure what this one is. Is this like Jurassic Park, do you reckon? Not really sure what this one is. And then I think that's probably the DeLorean from Back to the Future, but again, it's not in a mass amount of detail, so I can't really get it. There's probably some references going on here as well, but I don't get them. But it's nice little movie references on the left there. It's cool. As I did say with the whole Japanese movie stuff, there's probably quite a few Japanese movie references going on here that I just unfortunately haven't seen. So apologies. As I did say, that I'm trying to watch movies from a wider array of countries and such. One of the best foreign movies I've watched, to be honest with you, is a movie called Time Crimes. I think it's a Spanish time travel movie, and probably the best time travel movie I've ever seen. And I've always loved the time travel concept, so that's saying quite a lot. Sorry to go off on an absolute like rant there. Double rainbow. Double rainbow. Well, this time invisible rainbow. At this point, just skip the video. Favorite quotes. Why is the t-shirt ones much more popular? That was a terrible thumbnail. I guess the one before didn't even have a thumbnail from the looks of it, so. Not even sure that's possible. I'm not even sure it's possible to not have a thumbnail. They do. The thing, I think you need a bit of a mix, don't you? You need a bit of a mix of like. I kind of like how my videos aren't like professionally kind of. It's quite amateur, and I quite like that. Gives it a bit more of a raw kind of vibe to it, I think. But I think you do need a good mix of like professional and kind of being raw and real. Let's Play. Not a good idea. Honestly, not a good idea. I mean, you see plenty of really popular and big YouTubers doing Let's Plays, but if you're a new channel and you're starting out with Let's Plays, half of YouTubers Let's Plays, half of like the gaming section on YouTube is ginormous. So it's really hard to alright, more references going on here. I think I just saw Seven Deadly Sins. Saw the I'm not sure if that's Seven Deadly Sins, but it's got 7 as the kanji to begin with, although it's got sharks in it, so maybe not. Yeah, as I was saying, like the gaming section is so hard to get into. Like I said, you have so many top creators in that section. I can't say I've ever tried, so maybe I'm wrong about saying that, but yeah, it's just like it's such a populated area on YouTube gaming. It's incredibly hard to get into. I think that's one of my best pieces of advice. Like anime is no longer too niche, I don't think, but you kind of want things with an audience, but you want something niche enough so that you're not in a massive pool of sharks trying to all kind of gain the attention. Like you want to focus on something really niche, I do think. Although I think if you are like an interesting person, I've never. It's really ironic because I've never thought I was like too interested or anything. I started making my YouTube videos. I've always kind of thought, why would anyone even bother watching? Because I'm really just a very normal, non-interesting person. But I thought I'd give it a try anyway. But yeah, I think if you are someone like interesting enough and enthusiastic enough and such, I think you'll probably succeed regardless of what you try and do. Whereas again, for me, because I'm probably not too interested, I have to focus on like a specific niche this time at anime. And it's good with anime because the niche is less so anime, but the specific anime you cover. And I've always had, well, I can't say always, but I've usually had more success with the more niche anime than the kind of ginormous kind of giants of the anime sphere. So yeah, what manga we got here? We've got some kind of giant tomato. Papa Aqua Heart Barony? I don't know what that says. A PlayStation 2 game though. I'm not sure what that is. Can I see the 7 kanji to begin with? I think that's a Target store. I don't pretty sure we don't have Target stores in the UK, but I think they're American stores that sell games and trading. I mean, I know they sell like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon cards, I think, but I think they're just like a general store, right? I don't really know. Oh, we got a green screen. Again, smart. Probably best just to keep it as the woman. But yeah, I also don't have anyone that works for me on my YouTube stuff. I would like someone to like edit my videos and do better in that regard. I think that would be like the next level for my channel, but it's expensive hiring people to edit your videos, I think. And when I try and edit my videos, I can't cut anything out. There's nothing else I ever want to cut out of my videos. Like, I go to edit it and I cut out like a minute's worth of stuff. Slime lotion gel amoeba, amoeba. So is this Frogger? What is going on in this game? What kind of game is this? Oh, is this a fighting game? Is this a little blood? A weird game. The movement does kind of remind me of like a Happy Wheels or something. Happy Wheels was the absolute game of choice at school. Cool. Is that likely? Probably not. But they've succeeded, which is good. You do see that quite often though as well. You see a lot of people play like crappy games because they're quite fun. Bit like me watching crappy horror movies. I like watching crappy horror movies because they're super fun. I guess people have that same thing with games. And they all done pretty well. Good. They got good thumbnails, interesting content. That probably happens all the time, doesn't it? Probably see, oh, the progression is not quite what I want it to be, and I'm not instantly massive on YouTube, so might as well quit. I mean, that's the thing with my channel. It's like my channel never really had like a massive kind of pop off or anything, but I think, as with most things, a consistent effort usually leads to success. Well, I hope it does. That's the thing again with YouTube. Though I don't hope to ever get to a point where anyone recognizes me. Yeah, I hope to get to a point where I'm like, I think I'm doing really well, but I don't ever want to be like recognized in real life or anything like that. Or I don't. Yeah, I can never deal with anything like that. I don't think. That's not that bad. You've seen much worse than that in English. But yeah, that was an interesting little segment from a YouTube perspective, wasn't it? You see that more and more with recent anime, don't you? More, I mean, obviously it wasn't even a thing back in the day, but I've seen quite a few anime in the past few years with characters using YouTube and becoming YouTubers, which is again a little bit ironic considering a lot of these anime, you put anything about them on YouTube and you get copyright. Well, life's one big lesson. I don't agree with that statement. Life is a series of lessons and teachings, and yeah. Synclone. So they're gonna move at the same time. Okay. Not sure that's the most beneficial spell that could have used, but certainly is interesting. Good. Although surely there's like a bit of like discrepancy between the size of their hands, like because he's moving his a certain amount, as her hands are probably less long, so that it doesn't reach quite as far, so it doesn't work out perfectly. Man, that's an expensive bit of gear. Where'd this guy get that? She's got a proper square head, hasn't she? Oh shit. The whole body's synchronized. Sure, that's supposed to be horrifying for her, not being able to control her body like this. I'd hate this. I hate having my actions controlled by someone else like this. Hi, Okasama. Obasama. Just fucking open the door. Come on. You got a clap. I think this might be what I said a minute ago. The ratios on how long the hands are slightly different. That looks like Frogger. Didn't think it would. Well, she's not doing majorly bad. That was actually like, I mean, that looked funny, don't get me wrong, but that was essentially what they asked for, right? Didn't look quite as gracious as you'd hope, I assume. Rakugan. Ugh. Nasty. Why? What? Why do you need to twist the bowl? Fucking drink your slop. She looks like one of those I knew from Golden Cowboy, to be honest. Inuki man. He's that guy with the big old lips, isn't he? I've seen that anime floating about. That bald guy, that massive bald guy with the big old lips. That was a total failure, wasn't it? Oh my god, that's a nasty piece of work. That one of those killer Japanese killer bees, giant hornets. Kill that fucking thing. Horrible creatures. You guys know I love my insects. Horrible fucking creatures they are. Kill that thing. Yeah, why would you even ask how that went? But yeah, thank you guys for watching. As I did expect, a bit more of a comedy focused episode today. Well, much more of a YouTube focused episode today, actually. But really good one. Like this one. Like I said, quite relatable, of course. Like especially, like I said, that shot with the Tengu guy with the camera behind him, with him just playing games. Like, even when I'd done that, YouTubers were at a point of, again, I think this was like 2010s. Even then, like, YouTubers were at a point of capturing their game from like a video card, or they'd get the footage of the game and then the footage of them and put them together. And I was still just like having a crappy flip phone. I don't think, to be honest, I think it was just a bit after my flip phone, because I had a flip phone at primary school. I think the phone after, it wasn't exactly a flip phone, but it was more of a kind of one you push up. It was a push-up phone rather than a flip phone, and that was the one I recorded on. I kind of put it sideways, put it behind me, and just play Guitar Hero. Fair to say, those videos probably got less than 20 views. Really nostalgic though. So quite a lot of references again today as well though, which is cool. Not all of them I understood with the directors, which is actually like a bit surprising, because I'm a what a fucking preview that was. Yeah, it's always a bit surprising, because I'm quite a movie buff, to be honest with you. I've watched a lot of movies, a lot of horror movies especially, but a lot of movies in general. So it's, forgive me for sounding a bit obnoxious, but it's a little bit surprising actually that I didn't understand who we were referencing with the directors here. That honestly just looks like, I think it's Ikaku from Bleach. The Naughty Monk series. Yeah, I would say like the Naked Gun, but this looks nothing like the Naked Gun series. I guess it sounds slightly similar. The Naughty Monk, the Naked Gun. Not really. Mangosteen Mogi. That just reminds me of that Jewish guy that used to like run Hollywood. I forget his name though. Mangosteen Mogi. Doesn't look. I don't recognize his looks at all. I guess I can Google him. I assume that name isn't real, but maybe it's like slightly similar to like the real name of the director they're going on about here. Mangosteen Mogi. It's apparently a fruit. Yeah, not much. Nothing's coming up here. I assume that's like one of those references that's like close to the name rather than the actual name. So Don Kabashima and Skalski. Skalski kind of reminded me a bit of Polanski. That's made some really good movies, but that is a bit of a forbidden name, bit of a tarnished name. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you guys picked up on any of the references, any more references than I got here. As I said, I'm not quite sure what that one between Ghostbusters and what I assume is Back to the Future is. It looks a little bit like, I wish I could zoom in, but even zooming in I'm not sure would actually help me. It looks a little bit like Jurassic Park, but I don't think it is. I think Jurassic Park's would be super recognizable, so yeah, I'm not sure about that one. But yeah, if any of you guys can help, please do let me know in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these reactions though. And I'll see you guys next week with episode 8.